තිසරණ බුද්ධං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි ධම්මං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි සංඝං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි ဒုတိယံ පි බුද්ධං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි ဒုတိယံ පි ධම්මං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි ဒုတိယံ පි සංඝං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි တတိယံ පි බුද්ධං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි တတိယံ පි ධම්මං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි တတိယံ පි සංඝං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි. පංචශීල පාණාතිපාතා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි අදින්නාදානා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි කාමේසු මිච්ඡාචාරා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි මුසාවාදා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි සුරාමේරය මජ්ජපමාදත්තානා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි.
I expect you to recite the Namaskara part 3 times before we observe the Ajivaka Ashtamaka Sila. Everybody should recite the Namaskara part 3 times, please. Buddhang saranang gacchami Dhammang saranang gacchami Sanghang saranang gacchami Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami Adinnādāna veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami Kāmesu miccāchārā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami Musavada Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Suramereya Majjapama Dattana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Parusa Vacha Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Pisuna Vacha Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Samprappalapa Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Miccha Ajiva Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Sadhu. To begin the sermon to this sacred place, we have to invite another group also. That is the Samyak Drustika deities, the gods. So with me you can recite inviting the gods to listen to this Dhamma of the Buddha. Samanta Chakravalesu Atra Gacchantu Devata Saddhammang Munirajasa Sunantu Saggamukkhadang Dhammasavana Kalu Ayang Badantha Dhammasavana Kalu Ayang Badantha Dhammasavana Kalu Ayang Badantha. Sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. With due respect to the Silmatas, Bhikkhunis in front of me, I shall begin my sermon by remembering a great monk who was my Kalyana Mitra so many years, who passed away 9 years back. His Most Reverend Amita Gavesi. He was a well-disciplined police officer before he was ordained as a monk. And as juniors, we see his dynamic, honest control of the forces, even as a senior police officer. After he became the monk, I presume that he is the first in the police force of holding such a higher rank, became a monk. He spent most of the time in the sacred area of Anuradhapura, And whatever the highest achievements that he gained, we believe that he achieved at Anuradhapura near Ruwanveli Saya. So let us all remember this great monk right throughout the sermon. That is the aim of these bhikkhunis inviting me for the sermon. And I have here a distinguished Upasaka Upasikas from Singapore, I believe, and all Buddhists. When the aim came to me regarding these qualities of a great monk, I thought of dividing this sermon into 3 parts. The first part, to explain to you where the Buddha has kept you, in what state that the Buddha has kept you. He kept you all in a certain platform, a stage. So we shall learn about that in the first part. The second part of the sermon is about worshipping and respecting the Dhamma. Buddha has taught us a beautiful gatha, a stanza, with unbelievable words in it. So as Buddhists, we must know the meaning of those, although we recite that every morning and evening, I believe. So let us study what he explained and what he expected us to remember while reciting and worshipping the Dhamma. The final part, I thought of devoting to explain to you in very simple way what Arahathood is and how to achieve that, and what is the simplest form, explanation given by Buddha. So that is how I intend breaking up this sermon. In part 1, I take this word Shravaka Sangha. Now you all know how you worship the Sangha. The stanza, I believe, you lady, was the gatha to worship the Sangha. It's Supatipanno. You remember that? How do you say that? Recite that with me. Supatipanno Bhagavato. No. Supatipanno Bhagavato. Savaka Sangho. Savaka Sangho. Ujipatipanno Bhagavato. Savaka Sangho. Nyayapatipanno Bhagavato. Savaka Sangho. Samichipatipanno Bhagavato. Savaka Sangho. Now it is interesting to note that in this gatha, this stanza, the Savaka Sangho term appearing very often, isn't it? It is repeated, Savaka Sangho. Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho. Ujipatipanno Bhagavato, again Savaka Sangho. Samichipatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho. Nyayapatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho. Now this term Savaka Sangho is very interesting as why he kept this on about 4 times in that stanza.
Buddha Vandana Iti piso bhagava arehang samma sambuddho vidhyacharana sampanno sugato lokavidu anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati sattha deva manosanang buddho bhagavati. බුද්ධං ජීවිතං යාව නිබ්බානං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි යේච බුද්ධං අතීතාච යේච බුද්ධං අනාගතා පච්චුප්පන්නාච යේ බුද්ධා අහං වන්දාමි සබ්බදා නත්ති මේ සරණං අඤ්ඤං බුද්ධෝ මේ සරණං වරං ඒතේන සච්ච වච්චේන